My name is Sister Maryanne Fabi. I worked at St. Vincent's starting in 1980. I came there right after graduate school. I graduated from the University of Wisconsin in Madison. I worked in nursing administration, and I have many, many wonderful memories. We had an employee bowling team in those days. I played the late team. We started at 9 o'clock on a Saturday. Sometimes it was hard to get up for Mass on Sunday mornings, but we had lots of fun. I played with Charlie Rather. He was my partner. And we bowled every Saturday at 9 o'clock and had a wonderful time.
My name is Sister Lenora Baronchick. I spent many years at St. Vincent's Hospital. First of all, as a nurse aide, and later on, I went to School of Nursing and became a registered nurse.
I'm Sister Janet Eben, and I was born in the little town of Kokana, Wisconsin, 94 years ago. I was privileged to have worked there before I entered the Hospital Sisters of St. Francis in the years 1935, 1936, and I entered in 1937 in February 2nd. We worked in the kitchen and washed dishes and served and prepared the trays for our patients there. I also worked there as a sister and registered nurse in the Hospital Sisters of St. Vincent in 1948 to 1952. I have always enjoyed my work there, and now I am a prayer minister for St. Vincent's Hospital. So all of you are remembered in my prayers daily.
Hello everyone, I'm Sister Helen Murray Plummer, who was privileged to be part of our mission in March 1971 to March 1981. It was a wonderful time for me at the hospital and for all of us. I joined 55 sisters who served in every department. We cared for 500 plus patients and were always busy. Our physicians were of the highest quality, which guided our care. We were definitely a specialty hospital. We had a huge ER, we had 2 ICUs, and we also had 2 big surgeries. I was also superior of the sisters, and this was an experience. Sister Maureen O'Connor and I were kept pretty busy, but we never missed out on any fun or any parties. There were many. And we worked hard, we played hard, and we also prayed.
Hello, I'm Sister Paulette Collings, and I served at St. Vincent's Hospital as Executive Vice President from November of 1980 until April of 1982. The few sisters that founded the hospital back in 1888 found a house of 23 rooms with little in it. In our Love Heals, they said, we trust in the Lord for all things to serve suffering humanity.
I just came from school. I just finished obtaining my master's degree, and so I knew it was a different hospital and different. I was like the first CNS here, so it was quite exciting. And then but I loved ICUs, and that's where I was going to work, so that made it very exciting then. There was 52 sisters when I arrived, and we lived. The building is no longer here. Priests lived here too at that time. I admire how we've always kept up to date with everything, well, all the technology, because in those days you didn't have a CAT scan. Now there's a room for the CAT scan. The emergency room is enlarged. Well, everything, and continues. Right now we're in construction, so it shows what our beginning sisters wanted, is keep advancing with technology and God's blessings.
My name is Sister Jolanda Snyder, and I was a pharmacist at St. Vincent's from 1958 to 1962, and then again from 66 to 70. And some of those years, of course, you probably know that were Lombardy years, and that was the language that was spoken in Green Bay. And shortly after I went there, I asked the traveling librarian for a book on football because I needed to learn the native language. And she brought me 6 books, and after that, I think I understood.
Hi everyone, I'm Sister Janelle Aythorpe. I was very privileged to be at St. Vincent Hospital for over 20 years. Actually a short time in the middle of the 70s, and then I went back again for the 80s and the 90s. I really grew to love, in fact, Mr. Neidenbach always called it the St. Vincent family. And we really were a family, and we knew each other and cared about each other, just everyone really. And then I eventually even really became very, very fond of Green Bay. The culture of Green Bay is different than any other city I've been in. And I miss Green Bay a lot. I check the news every day from Green Bay because I'm concerned about what's going on there.
Congratulations on yours and our 125th anniversary. My name is Sister Mary Jo Schulte, and I unfortunately only worked at St. Vincent's for 15 months. I especially want to thank you for all the bad winter weather you drove through to get to work, and all the times you had to stay over and do extra in order to care for our patients.
Greetings and salutations to the staff, colleagues, and physicians of St. Vincent's Hospital. I'm Sister Maryanne, and I served at St. Vincent's Hospital in the early 50s. At that time, to be transferred to St. Vincent's was kind of a feather in your hat because it was the crowning hospital of the Northern hospitals. Carl Appleton was there, and these are Carl's values on life and business. And he said, starts out with first, respect, care, competence, and joy. Second, always remember there are 2 sides to every story. Be honest and forthright, no matter what the message. Spend hospital's money like you would your own. Always be a good partner with who you are working with. Your performance is only as good as the people who work for and with you. Don't ask anyone to do something you wouldn't do yourself. And work hard and play hard. And so for all of the Carls, there are many Carls in the system and at St. Vincent's as well. I wish you God's blessing and Godspeed.
I'm Sister Maureen O'Connor, and I had the privilege of serving at St. Vincent's from 1973 to 1980 in pediatrics, which at that time was on the 6th floor, and I was the head nurse there. And when I left St. Vincent's, the nurses gave me this as a gift, and I don't know how much you can see of it, but it's pictures of many of the special patients that we took care of during the time that I was there. And I've had this with me since I left there in 1980, and I always keep it somewhere where I can see it. And it really, well, a lot of these kids are very special, and I remember things about them, but also it reminds me of why we do what we do.
I'm a local kid, born in Green Bay many years ago, actually 81 years ago, and from a big family, 15 kids. And so 4 of us buddies got jobs after school and on weekends here at the hospital. And that's how I helped to pay part of my tuition to St. Joe's Academy. And one of our funny stories is we used to love to go horse riding. We always worked a split shift on Saturday and Sunday. So we would take an opportunity sometimes to go to a stable and ride horses and then come back for 4 o'clock in the afternoon to pass the trays. Well, one day we got delayed and we knew we wouldn't get back home in time to change from our our wonderful jod furs, if you remember what those things looked like. So we knew it'd be worse if we got to work late, so we thought we'll just wear them to work, though we knew it was bad. So we got here and Sister Philippine met us in the hall and she said, "Oh, girls, you can't work like that." And we said, "Well, what are we going to do?" And she said, I got it. She went into her cupboard and the sisters wore long white aprons in those days. So she decked each of us out in a long white apron to cover up our jod furs, our pants, and so we were safe.
Sister Sebastien worked at St. Vincent's. She worked in the laundry for many, many years, and she was just a very funny person, and she would love to take care of, especially the younger sisters. Yeah. One other time I made some comment about my white shoes were getting kind of old and the polish didn't hold too well. I probably have to get some new ones. And a week or so later, I came to Springfield for a meeting, and I was gone like 3 days, and I came back, and the next morning I was getting dressed, and I put my shoes on, and I thought, well, you know, these don't look as bad as I thought they did. So, and I'm in church, and I thought, boy, these shoes, they were old, and they felt real stiff. And I thought, I can't imagine what's wrong with these shoes. And I'm walking around in the morning at work, and I looked at them, and she had taken them to the paint shop and had the men paint them. And I don't know if you've ever put paint on a pair of leather shoes, but they get pretty stiff, and I had to go that afternoon and buy a new pair of shoes. So. And she insisted always that she had not painted them. But you could see the mark of the paintbrush.
The real heart of St. Vincent's was our brother Tony. He came to St. Vincent's from Upper Michigan as a young lad to get his appendix out, and he never went back. He lived down the hall for as long as I can remember and was in charge of plant services.
He had a little apartment that was right off, was in the hospital, but it was a part of where the patients were no longer in that area. And he had, like, if I remember right, it was like 2 or 3 rooms, but he always went to the kitchen. He had his little spot in the bakery room where he had all these meals, and he did work very hard. And from then he started into the plant ops, and when they built the new hospital in 1957, he was one that knew every bolt and every screw, everything in the hospital.
We were then ready to move into the new hospital. And it was decided that we'd move the babies like 4:30 in the morning. And we had 2 sets of elevators, 1 for service and 2 for visitors. And the 2 for visitors were in the front, and we were not supposed to use them except for visitors. So when I was moving the babies, being real sharp as I am, I decided we'll take 16 of these babies on the first load and then 16 on the second. When I get up on 3rd floor to get these babies off the elevator, who stands there but Tony? He said, "What did Superior tell you? This is for visitors only." And I said, "Thank you, Father Director." And since then, I always called him Father Director, and he loved it. He loved it. He corrected every sister for any infraction. He knew the rule better than we did.
He made yearly trips to the mother house to see his old sister friends. He made sure that every single sister had a lazy boy for a comfortable chair. He died in his 90s and is buried at our mother house.
One of my special memories is Sunday afternoons during football season. Life at St. Vincent's and in Green Bay went to a halt. Everything was focused on Lambeau Field and the Packers. I loved those Sunday afternoons, and even if they didn't win, the Monday morning paper still showed that they played well.
Sister Viola Nielsen worked in the emergency room for many years at St. Vincent. And of course, if the players were hurt, they came to St. Vincent at that time. So she took care of a lot of the players when they got hurt. And I don't remember all the details, but Paul Horning was brought in, and they became good friends. She even became friends with Paul Horning's mother. And when she died, it was on a Saturday during football season. And I said, we were playing the Bears the next day. I was here already when she died. And I said, do not worry, the Packers will win tomorrow, because Sister Viola, her first game in heaven is bound to be a win, and they did. And this when the Bears were winning more than we were at that time. So I always think of her when the Packers and the Bears play.
However, Carl Appleton and Charlie and Maryanne and I often went to the Packers games. And we would wear our snowmobile outfits, and the snow would be falling on our head, and we would be trotting in there. And it was very, very cold, but we had a great time, and we had a lot of things to warm us inside and out. And we had a lot of fun. Charlie Rather is a wonderful person, and so is Carl Appleton. And Maryanne Fabi and I sure enjoyed them. And their wives did not disapprove.
Even though I've been gone for a long time, I am still a very dedicated cheesehead, and I say very loudly during the games, "Go Pack, go!"
Through the years, the sisters have always depended on and utilized the wonderful efforts and professional gifts of our colleagues. So, to see now that there's only 2 of us left, but as I say in orientation, the mission is still strong, going forward.
To think what they did and what we have now, 125 years later, but we have to thank God for protecting them. They trusted in God, and He answered them back. And then for the co-workers, that the doctors, everyone that has, through those 125 years, have carried out the spirit of St. Francis and Clare in the healing ministry, and God bless them.
My deep gratitude to each of you who are carrying on the work of the sisters. It is truly a gift and tribute to each of you who are part of St. Vincent Hospital to have embraced the Franciscan charism of the sisters and are living it in a way you are touching the lives of many people.
There's a phrase that comes to mind, and it was a phrase that was used by St. Francis of Assisi. And he said, "I have done what was mine to do, and now it is yours to do what Christ has in store for you." And I think right now, the hospital sisters' mission at St. Vincent's in Green Bay is important. And this importance needs and depends upon each of you to carry on that mission.
We want you to know that every day we pray for you and for your ministry and your families and the rest of your life outside of the ministry.
The prayers I say each day for the ministry is, gracious God, bless our ministries and bless those who serve us as instruments of your healing love.
We feel that you're part of our family, and we want your needs, your safety, your care, your family being taken care of also.
It's been many years since I've worked there, but we sisters at the Mother House do remember you in prayer. We remember all our hospitals and the people who work there daily at Vespers. And I did spend some very good years at St. Vincent's, and I want to thank you for continuing what the sisters have started there. And God bless you, all of you, always.
And I want to thank you today and every day for what you do for and with the patients, for and with the hospital sisters. Thank you.
I want to take this opportunity to extend my congratulations on the 125th anniversary of St. Vincent's Hospital to the doctors, the colleagues, and the volunteers.
Yeah, doctors, employees, auxiliary women, they all will be very special in my heart for a long, long time. And I think it's great that St. Vincent's is celebrating 125th. Blessings on all of you. Just keep going like you always have.
Thank you, and God bless you and your loved ones at St. Vincent's Hospital, and bless your ministry.
Congratulations to all the colleagues, physicians, and volunteers at St. Vincent's on the observance of your 125th anniversary. Our mission in Green Bay is strong and stronger because of you.
On behalf of all of the Hospital Sisters of St. Francis, I wish to share with you the blessing of St. Francis. May the Lord bless you, may He keep you, may He turn His face to you, may He show His countenance to you. May the Lord give you peace and bless you.